I've been practicing law for 36 years, and what you've just said to me has no meaning to me whatsoever. Sit down. You want me to hold you in contempt? Sit down. In that blue chair. Sit down.
All right, Mr. Williams, what do you want to do, though? Because we're not going to have a question and answer service. I've been on the docket for a while. If you do want to, you can come back at 1:30, and I'll be more than happy to continue this educational opportunity.
If you run my name, you would see that I surrendered my state ID and I have a passport, right? I have no contracts with that.
This hearing goes off the rails almost immediately. The judge has spent decades on the bench, and within seconds he realizes he's dealing with arguments he's heard countless times before. But this defendant isn't about to back down.
Take a seat in this blue chair. Sit down. You want me to hold you in contempt? Sit down. In that blue chair. Sit down. One more time. Sit down. You are charged with one count of no operator's license, a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 plus court costs. You also are charged with one count of expired plates, also a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 in court costs.
I am the authorized agent to the decedent estate. I am coming in here as the settler, and I want to settle this case.
I will enter no plea on your behalf to these charges. I've given you 3 plea options to plead.
No, I do not recognize anyone in this court.
Okay, well...
I don't recognize you or the bailiff or anybody else in this court. No, I'm just going to surrender the person to the court because I'm not coming back.
I don't know what that means.
You do know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I am not the ens legis, non de guerre.
I've been practicing law for 36 years, and what you've just said to me has no meaning to me whatsoever. So let me say it one last time, because we have other cases to handle today. If you don't leave the courtroom and go to the clerk's window and get a trial date, which is what I'm scheduling in this case, I will hold you in contempt of court and I'll have you arrested. You either go to the clerk's window now and get a trial date, or I'll have you taken into custody now. You got it? Court is now on the record in City of Conneaut versus Amber McHenry, 24 TRD 819. Ms. McHenry entered no plea to charges of no operator's license and expired plates, each of which is a minor misdemeanor on December 17th, 2024. I scheduled it for a bench trial for January 8th of 2025. Ms. McHenry was given notice of that bench trial. I have a signed receipt in the file showing she got notice of that bench trial. Present on January 8th, 2025 was the law director along with a police officer. Ms. McHenry failed to appear. As a result of her failure to appear, I issued a warrant for her arrest. That was January 8th. It's now over a month later, February 11th, and Ms. McHenry is now turning herself in on the warrant. She's in the courtroom, and she is without an attorney. Ms. McHenry, why were you not here on January 8th of 2025?
I have a question about the case.
Ms. McHenry, sit down. This is not your courtroom. Sit in that chair.
I have a question about the case. That's not the case number that I have.
Yes, it is, Ms. McHenry. You've got other cases pending that are set for jury trial.
The original case number that I had was like TDR, like 0800 something. And
24 TRD 819.
819. Okay. I was just double checking on the case number. Can you repeat your question then? No.
Why were you not here on January 8th?
I put in an appearance and it was rejected and struck from the record, and I was sent a letter saying that I am not who I said I was. So I have a question about that because I don't understand.
This is not a discussion here. This is not a conversation. I ask a question. You respond to my question. Now, this is typical behavior for you because you're a sovereign citizen. At least you claim to be.
I've never claimed that.
Well, your documentation that you filed, including the one you filed today that did not have...
Here's an important legal point. Refusing to answer a judge's direct questions or follow courtroom procedure doesn't strengthen your case. It can quickly lead to contempt or additional legal consequences. The courtroom has rules and everyone is expected to follow them.
Have a correct caption or case number on it is indicative of that. So let me ask you, Ms. McHenry, again, why were you not physically, personally present in the courtroom on January 8th, 2025 for your trial?
I need the oath and bonds to be put for each person acting as a public official, in this case, who is acting as a public servant, to be put on the record. And I also require the indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds. I need the accounting. Please, for the record, let it be known that you exited.
I did. I exited the courtroom and asked a police officer,
Who
probation
has the
officer.
indemnity bond? Where's the bill of particulars?
The
Because
bond
I
is
did not
being,
receive it.
the warrant is being executed. You're being taken into custody. Take her down to jail now.
I was not given the warrant.
Take her down to jail now.
Why am I being arrested?
Take her down to
For what?
jail now.
What crime have I committed? Get off me. This is kidnapping. This is a false arrest. No, this is a false arrest. This is kidnapping. They're violating my rights, my constitutional rights. I put in.
I thought the Constitution didn't apply to you.
The Constitution applies to every living man and woman. You are violating your oath, Mr. Ayarochi.
Well, hello everybody. How you doing? So I went to court today for a bench warrant to deal with a bench warrant that was put out for me, allegedly because I didn't make an appearance in court, but I did turn my paperwork in for that. You're allowed to turn in paperwork. You don't have to physically go to court. Paperwork is the same thing as making an appearance. However, they struck it from the record that I made my appearance. They struck the recusal of the judge from the record, and on top of that, they sent me a letter and they stated that I wasn't who I said I was, that I am who they say I am. Which, when I asked questions about that, the judge yelled at me and told me he didn't have to answer any of my questions. And then when I asked for the bill of particulars and the indemnity bond, I was arrested and taken into custody and held against my will. And so that's a false arrest. But not only was that a false arrest, because it's all based on fraud in the first place, but secondly, they didn't read me my rights. I wasn't read my rights by the judge in the court, and I also wasn't read my rights when I was arrested. Also, they did not tell me what my charges were. So there's that. I can't wait to get the paperwork where they tell me what they're charging me with. So this is all because of the right to travel. Okay? It's all based on the right to travel freely, unencumbered, and unfettered according to the Constitution. Now, I'm going to pull up some stuff for you because people need to know what the truth is. And they're not going to really know unless I actually physically show them, because you guys, you're not going to do the research, right? You don't really care. You're just going to tell me I'm crazy and nothing that I say makes sense. You can replay all of this later because it's alive now, but they hold it up for 30 days, and you can write down all of these things if you want to. There's benchmark cases that all deal with all of this stuff. But we'll start with Ohio Revised Code. I was threatened with retaliation for threatened and retaliated against. They were trying to coerce me into basically doing business with the state of Ohio, which I don't have anything to do with. I'm not a state of Ohio resident, okay? Under section 2905, hold on, let me flip this around. Ohio laws and administrative rules, section 2905.12, is coercion. No person with purpose to coerce another into taking or refraining from action concerning which the other person has legal freedom of choice shall do the following: threaten to commit any offense, utter or threaten any calumny against any person, expose or threaten to expose any matter tending to subject any person, or hatred, or contempt, or ridicule, or damage any person's personal or business repute, or to impair any person's credit. Institute or threaten criminal proceedings against any person. Take, withhold, or threaten to take, withhold official action, or cause to threaten to cause official action to be taken or withheld.
Now the tension reaches another level. Instead of answering why she missed court, the defendant shifts to demanding documents and questioning the court's authority. Watch carefully because this decision completely changes the direction of the hearing.
Okay, so anyways, you guys can read all of that. That's the section you need. Because that's what happened to me. I am a non-resident alien. According to 5301.254, okay? You are a non-resident alien unless you are a U.S. citizen, but I'll get to that in a minute. You have the right to the bill of particulars of your case, which I asked for, and they did not give me. And when I asked for it today, and for the indemnity bond, I was arrested. This is the location of the debtor. This is UCC. Do you know who the debtor is? I do. Hold on. It's this. The United States is located in the District of Columbia. They are the debtor. Any foreign bank registered and licensed by a state, which would be all banks, all courts are banks. The United States business. It's a corporation, a partnership. Also, the United States citizen is a corporation or a partnership with the District of Columbia. That's 15 U.S.C. 4724E. Here you go. 18 U.S.C. 911, citizen of the United States. If you claim willfully and falsely and represent yourself as a citizen of the United States, you are going to be fined and imprisoned, or both. You can only be a citizen of the United States if you are a public servant dealing with the law, so governors, senators, judges, cops. They're all United States citizens. You are not. Under Ohio Revised Code 4507.04, non-resident exemption. Non-residents are permitted to drive upon the highways of their own state without, right here, without. Bam. Wake up. Here you go. So not only do you not have to have a license, according to 28 CFR 29.10, owner withdrawal from the program. Owner withdrawal from the program. The owner may withdraw from the program. This is for a registration. So you do not have to register your car if you are not engaged in commerce under common law. You don't have to. You can withdraw from the criminal.
The arrest may seem dramatic, but remember why it happened. According to the judge, it wasn't because of the legal theories being discussed, it was because of an outstanding bench warrant and the defendant's refusal to comply with courtroom orders. Do you think the judge handled this correctly?
Program at any time. It's voluntarily. You have to remove the decal and change the license plate. You cannot have a Ohio State license plate. You have to have your own personal, private license plate. You should go through the Department of Transportation, or you can get your own whatever, or just not even have a plate at all. Just remove it completely. Everybody needs to be doing this. We all need to recognize this. The more people who do this and realize what their rights are, the more rights you have. Right now I'm fighting by myself. Everybody else doesn't have the guts or the balls to do it. I don't know what to tell you. It's not my fault or problem. Here you go. Other things related to the case. Take a screenshot of this. These are the laws, codes, statutes, regulations, case law. I also have the constitutional law in here. But they're doing all of these things unlawfully. Look at that. Right here. Citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens of the several states, ensuring equal treatment of travelers. You are not a driver, you are a traveler. Affidavit of truth. Affirmation of rights. All of this. Take screenshots. Look these up for yourself. Find it out. This is me doing a public service announcement for all of you. So now more people can start doing it. We need to take down Admiral Maritime Law. It's the law of the dead. I'm not dead, are you? This is my public service announcement for you. I was arrested. My friend was there with me. Her and her friend were with me. They witnessed it. Everybody that was there witnessed it. Say hi, Erica.
No, I look like crap.
But I have witnesses, which they'll be subpoenaed eventually, and they'll be able to confirm that my rights were violated. They didn't read me my rights. They didn't tell me my charges. It's called robbery ashore. It's called piracy. Because they're in Admiral Maritime, and I'm common law. They're pirates. And committing treason. So there's that. So, just an FYI, the government's not your friend, and they're not here for you. You have to know your rights, and you have to exercise them. I'm still learning the policy and procedure part of it, but I know the law.
The court is on the record in City of Conneaut versus Amber R. McHenry, case number 24 TRD 527. Court is in receipt of a pretrial report. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Your Honor. We may have a resolution of the matter, should the court be willing to accept it, whereby the city would dismiss the fictitious plate charge at defendant's cost, and Ms. McHenry would then enter guilty to the two remaining charges of failure to reinstate driving under suspension and expired plates. The city would then recommend whatever fines the court would deem appropriate along with the court costs of the case. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Savage.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did convey the offer from you all that I listened to my client, Ms. McHenry, after extensive talks and going over what she would be waiving today. She has decided today that she would take the plea offer along with the state's recommendation of just court costs and fines.
Okay, Ms. McHenry, it's my understanding today that you wish to change, you originally entered no plea to charges of failure to reinstate an unclassified misdemeanor and expired plates of minor misdemeanor. You wish to enter guilty pleas to those two charges. In exchange for those guilty pleas, the fourth-degree misdemeanor charge of fictitious place would be dismissed at your cost. Is that what you would like to see happen today?
I believe so.
You understand by pleading guilty to those charges that you would be waiving your right to the jury trial that is currently scheduled at the end of the month, as well as all of your trial rights. We just had a trial last week, so you kind of know what a trial is like. So by pleading guilty to these two charges, you'd be waiving all of those trial rights.
After leaving court, the defendant gives her side of the story and explains why she believes the entire case is unlawful. Whether you agree or disagree, this is where viewers should separate personal beliefs from how courts actually interpret and enforce the law.
Is that what you wish to do?
Would that put an end to litigation?
Yes, it would.
Then,
I'm sorry?
yes.
Okay. Also, you are represented by Mr. Sayed. Have you had sufficient time to consult with him, and are you satisfied with his counsel?
Yes.
Okay. I do find the defendant's pleas of guilty to these minor and unclassified misdemeanor offenses, in subcase A and B, failure to reinstate an expired plates, to be knowing, voluntary, and intelligent. The court will accept the guilty pleas to those two charges, and I will therefore find her guilty of those offenses. I will dismiss at the defendant's cost the fictitious plates charge in subcase. So, Ms. McHenry, I did not impose community work service. I could have. I did not impose a Class 7 license suspension. I could have on the failure to reinstate charge. I'm just giving you a fine and cost, although I'm ordering you to provide proof of insurance on the vehicle you're driving that day. If you're not able to provide to the court proof of insurance on the vehicle you're driving that day, you are subject to what we call a non-compliance suspension with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. I guess what I'm saying is, Ms. Kennedy, I could have sentenced you in a much more severe way. I did not. But understand that if you're back here with similar offenses and you're found guilty of those, I will impose those. What I didn't do today, I would do at a later time.
I'm gonna just call his case numbers. This is now the matter of the people versus Timothy Tally Williams. This is ticket SP 1283888, count 1, 2, and 3. Ticket SP 1409982, counts 1 and 2. Ticket number SP 1409983, count 1. Ticket SP 1411.
Oh, my bad.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. SP 1411848, counts 1, 2, and 3. Ticket SP 1418401, counts 1, 2, and 3. Ticket SP 1466801, count 1, 2, and 3. Ticket SP 1452301, count 1, 2, and 3. Ticket SP 1467130, count 1. Ticket number SX 2454328, counts 1 and 2, and ticket number SP 1283889, expired plates. Appearances for the record, starting with counsel, please.
Judge, this is Attorney Herman Griffin. I did speak with the defendant. I did talk to him, went over his rights. However, he indicated to me that he wants to move forward without the assistance of counsel. So I just want to make sure that's in the record. And I'm going to go talk to Mr. Wallace.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Is that true, Mr. Williams? You want to move forward without counsel at this time?
Correct.
You know you have the absolute right to have counsel, especially with misdemeanors in these particular matters. But at this point in time, you want to move forward on your own, Mr. Williams?
I do.
Okay. Mr. Williams, how would you like to proceed? Do you want to have a bench trial, a jury trial, or do you want to try and resolve these matters?
I'm trying to resolve them today. And I have a couple questions for you move forward.
Well, we'll see if I can answer them because I can't give you counsel because I'm not an attorney. I'm not practicing as an attorney. Okay, what's up, Mr. Williams?
All right, but so before you move any further, what jurisdiction is the court under? Is it civil or criminal?
This is traffic kind of acts like a hybrid. So we are It's criminal because it's misdemeanor, so with it carries the underline that you can have like jail time and fines. Usually with civil, it's just going to be fines, and it's not going to be the opportunity to have jail time, and that's why you have the ability to be able to have counsel appointed to you, because you get the rights kick in, right? You can have a jury trial, you can have a trial by a juror. So we're under the jurisdiction of, I would say, more criminal matters for these.
Okay, so in the Constitution grants two jurisdictions. That's
And here's the twist almost nobody expected. After all the courtroom arguments, arrests, and legal claims, the case returns with attorneys discussing a possible plea agreement. It proves an important lesson: real court cases often end through negotiation rather than dramatic courtroom speeches. What would you have done in this situation? Let us know in the comments.